it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
What's up, Facebook? We're a little late, but we are here. It's Talk About It Tuesday. We are joined round two, Jake Dempsey, Job Nimbus. Jake, thanks for hopping on with us again.
No problem. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, I know you've told me this, so I kind of got this down. I could probably just tell people about it, but why don't you tell anybody jumping on or watching us on replay, what is Job Nimbus? Kind of where it started, and kind of where guys are at today.
So we've been around for about 7 years. What we are is a software program that allows contractors to track their contacts, their projects, and their follow-up for billing, kind of an end-to-end solution to help manage your company. And we've been around for about 7 years doing this, working on it constantly, working with our customers constantly to take their suggestions to improve it. And so because of that and because of our interest in there, we've grown a lot over the last 7 years to really get a big footprint out there. So we're pretty excited. We come from a background, part of us are developers, part of us are construction. I've been a general contractor in the past. I'm 100% devoted to Job Nimbus now, but I've also been in the tech side of contracting. I was the national sales trainer over at Eagle View in the early days, and then left there to run a company out of Colorado that was similar to what Troy Clymer does over at Bounce Claims, to help contractors work through their Job Nimbus stuff. What happened was, in the process of, I kind of took a look at it and said, hey, there's no way that we can run a company just with piles of paper. We better get to the back end of this thing figured out. And so I called some people and said, hey, I need some help building the back end to our system to keep us organized. And one of our partners at the time kept showing this back end to all of the contractors, and they were kind of flipping out, going, man, this is really simple. This is all I really need, is something that'll help me keep track of my customers and notes and things that I'm doing in it. And so the idea with the other guys, as we talked, the idea sparked to start thinking about Job Nimbus and throwing it out there, something really simple, something really tailored for the smaller users that we were dealing with. We got it on the market, and it just kind of exploded across all sizes of contractors. So it's been a fun journey. Absolutely.
So I've been with Company Cam about 2 years now, and you guys are one of the kind of the first relationships that I was exposed to. And when you talked about hearing your customers, I think that's one thing that I constantly hear when I talk to customers that are Company Cam customers and Job Nimbus customers, and really that's how we came to be here today, where we're at with our integration and those things is people said, hey, we would like to integrate Company Cam pictures directly into our Job Nimbus, and we've got that working. Obviously, Company Cam has a great integration, great relationship with Job Nimbus. Tell me some other things, because that's kind of the one thing that I find most intriguing about Job Nimbus. What other integrations do you guys have out there that you can almost plug into your Job Nimbus?
We actually, the list is huge for a couple of reasons. We have some direct integrations that are pretty popular. Guys like Sales Rabbit, HailTrace, those guys. Really, the list is a mile long. I don't even have a list of every single one, because we have an open API. And so I guess in layman's terms, API is kind of like a digital user that you program to talk between two programs. And it allows us to talk with a lot of different things. So there's canvassing apps, there's your guys' photo app, There's some reputation management apps. We're working on some integrations with suppliers, some major suppliers right now. So a lot of really cool things going on. But we also have built to a program called Zapier. And what Zapier is it's kind of a Switzerland of programs that allows you to reach out to things like Constant Contact or like a MailChimp and different programs out there that aren't directly integrated with our API, but that are interested in working with Job Nimbus. So things like Facebook, if Bill Combs was doing some Facebook work for you guys and you're getting leads from there, there's actually a Zapier path to go from Facebook with leads into Job Nimbus. So it's kind of what do you want it to do? It can do it.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And I think that definitely sets you guys apart in the space. Personally, I feel CRMs that are pretty important to a contracting business, no matter the size. And we had a little conversation before we went on live here about how you guys are, you'll work with anyone and everyone size wise. Say I'm a contractor, I'm out shopping for a CRM. What are some things that you would maybe say I should look for, or how do I determine what I need in a CRM?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Regardless of what CRM you're looking at, there's a universal CRM law, and it is that CRMs are worthless if you don't use them. And that's what we struggle with a lot is people that are changing their culture within their company to go from, say like spreadsheets or Dropbox or even just whiteboards on the wall to a CRM to get a little more organized. And that organization is really essential because that's where your reputation starts to get hurt by, your job fell through the cracks or just by losing something in a folder on your table. So really, I think it depends on where you're at. It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for turnkey, or if you're looking for something custom, or if you're looking for something that'll just fit the bill, it's different for everyone. But some of the things that a lot of the people that are coming to Job Nimbus are looking for is flexibility. Number one, that would be something that they can take what they're doing now and digitize it as opposed to reinventing the wheel. Number two is mobility. It's really important to have a good mobile app. That's going to help you a lot with your guys out in the field. And then number three is just companies that, well, I would say somebody that's been around for a little while. They've kind of proven themselves. They're going to be around for a while. It's not a flash in the pan. And then I wouldn't say that this is a make or break, but there have been some conversations in the past where people are concerned about guys that are actually roofing contractors or contractors building CRMs, and then you're giving all your information to them. It's here nor there. Most of these guys are operating on a pretty high level of ethics, and they're all good folks. I wouldn't be too concerned about it, but that has been a concern that's raised by customers in the past. We have some fantastic competitors out there. There's good products all around, but definitely kicking the tires. Don't just settle on one unless you just found your holy grail. Kick some tires. Check it out. It's not all about price all the time. It's not all about features all the time. It really depends on what it is that's needed for you. For us specifically, we've tried to be as flexible as possible to fit the bill on as many of those areas as we can.
Absolutely. And I think it's kind of, where you don't even really bring price up. And, contractors all the time are talking about, hey, we've got to sell on value, sell on what we're going to deliver to the customer. We're not going to sell on price. I think then a lot of times when they buy, they like to buy on price. Personally, I think Job Nimbus is very affordable. Even when you plug in some of the other things, Company Cam and some of your other integrations, they're still very, very affordable. Would it be safe to say, though, on the price conversation that you need to really figure out what value your CRM is bringing you? Would that kind of be what you would tell a contractor?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's an ROI that happens when you move to it, and that's something you have to realize is as you looking at your CRM, as you look how it affects your business, You don't need to look at it as, hey, here's the bill at the end of the month. Job Nimbus is simple. We're $25 a user per month, all you can eat. I mean, that's includes all the in and outs and the connections and all the bonuses. It's really simple. But when you start to look at, hey, how much does this really cost me? Well, here's the question. How much does it cost you to lose a file on your desk? How much does it cost for that phone call when somebody calls up and says, yeah, you know what, and you're answering the phone saying, yeah, sorry, you fell through the cracks. So you've lost whatever that is on that job. And, now with the advent of social media, you're also running the risk of reputation being lost in that process. And that's just not something that you want to do. So staying organized in and of itself, putting a value on that. I mean, can I help you get another couple jobs because you're a little more organized? Probably. Can I help you with happier customers because you're more organized and you know where things are? Can the things like our automatic emails that are sent out from inside the program help you communicate better so that you have happier customers? Yeah, and what does that all entail in the end? Well, that means your business increases and you're able to scale. And that's the other whole important thing about a CRM is that you're able to build a repeatable process. So you can bring somebody in and you set them in front of this and just say, hey, this is how we do business. Don't skip these steps because these are tried and true. You're going to increase and you can load up. So if things go nuts in your area, you get a storm or you've got just roofs in a neighborhood that are wearing out, great. You can do that. It's easy to scale. Just throw them in the system. They're all set up. Start following the process, and you make more money in the end. So yeah, absolutely. There's some ROI there that doesn't associate with price, but it definitely there's a lot of value it brings to the table.
Absolutely, and that's kind of what I was getting at was you got to shop it on value and what value does that CRM bring to your company. And I know initially. One of your first answers, you brought this up, but I want to come back to it a little bit here. How important, and I know the answer from the Company Cam standpoint, and I'm going to guess the answer is the same from Job Nimbus's standpoint. How important is it to have that process and that training and actually dive into whatever software you're using, whether that be Job Nimbus, Company Cam, one of the other CRMs out there on the market? How important is that from your experience?
Yeah, you got to commit. And that it is you got to figure out a process. Really, that's the only way to scale. If you have a 5-year, 10-year, 20-year plan, whatever that is, the only way you're going to build value and equity in your company is to have something that's turnkey, to have something that you can regularly prove as far as a process that you can prove works, so that you can say, hey, listen. I got the X number of jobs in the queue. I have X number of customers already here. If I do something, I should expect reasonable results on the other end. This is a science. It's not art. There's a level of personality and artistic flair that it takes to make you unique. But as far as your processes, you should be able to count on if you do A, B, and C, D will happen. And if you skip those, then D gets all messed up. So really what a CRM helps you to do is review those processes and to get metrics on how your company's operating. It's going to give you valuation while you're in the company. It's going to allow you to project numbers later on. It allows you to manage growth without having it explode, or all of a sudden you bought 50 trucks because you think you have X number of jobs, and then all of a sudden you're upside down. This is what happened before the big crash back in the early 2000s. Is the economy was doing great, people were going nuts, they weren't that organized, but hey, the money was coming in, big deal. Let's load up, and then all of a sudden it hit the fan, and boom, it came crashing down, and yeah, not good. So being organized with a CRM, having a process is essential to growing your business responsibly and intelligently. And it just, in the end, it saves you a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And my advice, and I'm not a contractor by any means, but if you're going to go down the CRM path, so if you say, hey, I think a CRM may be for me, you've got to be all in on it. or you're going to talk to somebody down the road and be like, yeah, that job Nimbus, it just wasn't for me. And then you ask them, well, how much did you try it? We kind of looked at it a little bit, or we did a little bit of this. And it's, back to that value thing, like to see the value, you have to go all in. Company Cam's the same way. I would say the vast majority of people that don't end up being Company Cam customers that do the trial never even create a project, which is, how do you just determine value if you haven't even used it? No, we were talking a little bit before we went on the live air. We've got a lot of shows coming up. We're actually going to be in Vegas tomorrow. We're going to go to the Experience, which is a lot of restoration, cleaning. A lot of times, Company Cam, we were born from the roofing space. I think you guys kind of have your roots there in the roofing space. Is Job Nimbus geared just to roofing contractors, or do you guys have, other verticals that you represent?
We do. We work a lot in solar. It's kind of a natural blend of the two because a lot of roofing contractors are already on the roof, and so a lot of them are incorporating solar. And so because of that, we've got a lot of solar stuff. We're actually headed to a big solar conference in California later this month. We work a lot with the windows, doors, pool installers. I mean, you name it. It runs the gambit because we're so flexible. The cool thing about Job Nimbus is that you can match what your current workflow is because it's customizable. So, and then a unique thing about Job Nimbus is we built into our system what we call digital whiteboards. So the same magnet board or whiteboard you have on the office of your the wall of your office that you're sitting and looking at where the jobs are, we actually do that digitally. And so because it's so flexible, we really are in a lot of places. We have a lot of restoration. We have tons of painters and stuff like that are in there. So we're flexible for a lot of different companies and the way they do that. We even have dog trainer. For some reason, we're very popular with dog trainers. It just seems to work for them for their scheduling and their offerings and their follow-up and stuff. They love it.
Wow. That's actually a vertical we're not in, and we are. Company Cam's in about, I thought about every vertical out there, but I don't know that we have any dog trainers. We've got a beekeeper, but no dog trainers in there. So, and then the other thing I wanted to mention was, we're Catalyst members with you guys there, and that's it's a great group. So anybody that's watching that's not familiar with the Catalyst group, go check out the Catalyst group. But I know we've talked a little bit, IRE's coming up. We've got some cool things going there. We don't need to get too in depth with it, but how many roughly would you say Catalyst members do you have some sort of either integration or partnership with that is direct with Job Nimbus?
If they're digital, we're pretty much hooked up with them, with the exception of our competitor over there. Acculinks is in there with us. Great guy. Matt, fantastic fellow. We have a lot of fun poking at each other and jabbing at each other. But, the whole concept of it, to bring those best of breed companies together and to keep them in a place where we can offer people some choices and a kind of a business in a box type solution. All the guys at Sales Rabbit's in there, Hail Trace is in there, you guys are in there. And all of you guys provide a really important piece. We realize that we really want to focus on what we do well and get better and better and better at it. And there's just some things that we're not going to do, like canvassing apps, for instance, is a really good example of it. If we're working on building that means we can't build something else. And we found people that were really good at that. And so instead of kind of doing it halfway, we thought, well, this is the right way to do it. So yes, while our mobile app has things like a picture taking ability, we do not have the enhanced capabilities of a Company Cam where you're able to draw and annotate and build those nice presentations in there and do all the stuff that you can do with the Company Cam type stuff. So we just looked at the whole industry and said, listen, let's get smart. Let's go pick out these guys that know what they're doing, and integrate with them. Well, it's the same concept as Catalyst Group. We get these group of people together, we integrate with them, we talk back and forth, and we work together closely so that when somebody comes to the industry and says, hey, I'm new or I'm struggling, I need some help, we've vetted everybody. They're a good group of people. They're reliable. They're going to be around. They've been around. They really run their company with a high level of ethics. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to work with those guys. And so it's basically kind of a business in a box. Come to us. Here's some options you can take a look at. These are what we recommend because these are good people, and this will help your company run better. So yeah, that's where that stuff comes from. And so yeah, we work with a lot of guys. It's just a good group of people.
Absolutely, absolutely. So kind of the reason for that question, you answered it perfectly for me. But I wanted to kind of tee up that, and no pressure to you guys, but when I talk to contractors, oftentimes they're weighing multiple CRMs, which is good. You even said kick the tires, see what's out there. But I put some pressure on you guys. But what I tell contractors is if it's even close today, in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, your guys' openness to other technologies and that plug and play, I was like, it's going to look so much different. Job Nimbus isn't going to look anything similar to what they do today in 5 years because, like you said, you're going to find people that are doing things in the space and that you don't want to necessarily do yourself, or don't have the time to devote that these other companies are, and just essentially plug them right into your CRM. So no pressure to you guys, but you've kind of hit that with that answer, is that everybody in that Catalyst group that aside from AccuLynx, who's obviously doing what you guys are doing, kind of have some sort of connection, especially if there's that digital piece. So that is great. One other thing I wanted to hit on here while we're live and going here, you guys have an event coming up here in October, is that correct?
We do. It's the Job Nimbus Solutions Summit. So what we did is last year we kind of did a trial run of one of these down in Colorado, or over in Colorado. I'm in my Idaho executive offices here, so it's over. We did a small group of people, about 100 people, and just sat them down for a couple of days and just went through Job Nimbus, some of the features that people miss, some of the cool things that it can do that some people don't really understand. And they loved it. It was great. We had you guys there. We had Sales Rabbit there. We had a lot of good people come in and help us talk. And it was educational. It wasn't, hey, here, buy my stuff. It was, hey, you're using stuff, so here's some enhancements and here's some things to think about. If you're canvassing, here's some best practices. And so what we decided to do this year is take that to a whole nother level. We're taking it down to Austin. You guys will be there again, and we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to have it broken up into 3 different tracks, kind of a beginner, middle ground, advanced type thing, where we talk about how to utilize Job Nimbus. So 3 people from the company can come and have 3 different roles and have 3 different ways of learning. It's going to be cool. It's going to be a lot more information, talking about how to set your Job Nimbus up, best practices in running your business, just so that you can run it better utilizing the technology that's out there. And so yeah, we're super excited. It's it's like the 21st, 22nd down there in Austin. You can look on Facebook and you'll find stuff on our Job Nimbus Facebook page. It's cool stuff. We're excited.
Yeah, we are too. We're definitely pumped. And I think it was even this weekend I saw still some pre-sale opportunities out there. It's not booked.
Week and a half. There's pre-sale discounts are on, and you can grab your tickets. We're super excited. This is a bucket list thing for me. I've never been to Austin. This year is going to be awesome for me. I've got Austin and then IRE's coming up in Nashville, 2 of my bucket list places to be. So we're going to be there and we're going to be pumped.
Awesome. Yeah. So I might even have drop the link so that anybody watching this on replay can see the link. check that out. But we're super pumped. We're gonna fly in from here in Lincoln and hopefully get away from some of this rain and awful weather and go down to Austin and enjoy some time with good friends and colleagues. So we're definitely excited for that. I'm trying to think. I think that's about we're a little over the normal 12 o'clock that we end on time, but we started a little late, so I feel like we're okay here for a little longer. Kind of the last thing that I want to pitch at you or let you kind of give the pitch is that contractor that's on the fence. You've talked about some kick the tires, see what's out there. What sets Job Nimbus? I know you've hit on a lot of this, but why should I choose Job Nimbus over whoever else I'm searching for?
So we understand the industry, which is not necessarily unique to us, but we understand from a contractor standpoint. I've been a small contractor and I've grown companies and I've seen it before. So I understand the pain and the trouble that people go through trying to implement this kind of stuff. So we really focused on trying to make it easy as possible. So we have our digital whiteboards. We've got some really simple interfaces. We're here to help you. We've got free tech support, training options. I mean, we'll walk alongside you to make you successful. And you'll notice, we are offering our free trial. We've got 14 days to get in and kick the tires, and we'll support you the exact same way during your trial as we would if you were a paying member of Job Nimbus. We'll take your calls, we'll take your emails. We'll respond to that stuff. I'm always here for questions and answers, but really the simplicity of it, the features of it, it's super feature rich. But we hide that. We hide it as much as possible so people don't get overwhelmed. Really, if you're making that move from something like Excel spreadsheets or paper and trying to get into a digital platform, from what I've seen from the other ones, and they're all great. I don't dog any of my competitors out there. They're just different than us. We really have focused on trying to make that move from nothing to something, a really smooth and easy one. So we're always happy to help you along, give you the best advice we can, and give you the best direction we can.
Absolutely. Well, that's about all I have for questions. I know Jake is definitely all over the Facebook world. So if you have any questions while you're watching this on replay, let us know and we'll reach out and make sure Jake gets those answered for you. But super glad we finally got through one of these and much appreciation for joining us. And we'll see you down in Austin here in about a month.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. Thanks for having me on.
Good. Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Jake.
Bye.